With more and more issues and debates revolving around Bitcoin's energy uses and consumption, I wanted to take some time and clear the air on any misconceptions and what can be done, plus what is currently in the works for Bitcoin's energy efficiency. Welcome back to the Ministry of Mainnet. Here at the Ministry, we bring you crypto news updates, trading and how-to videos, and other cool specials. As always, if you enjoy our channel and content, please smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. And if you wish to jump to a specific section, please see the timestamps in the details section below. Before we move forward, one thing you have to ask yourself is, how do you feel about Bitcoin? If you believe that Bitcoin offers no intrinsic value or utility beyond serving as a Ponzi scheme or a device for money laundering, then I would highly recommend watching some of our other videos so that when you come back to this video, you can truly appreciate what it has to offer. However, if you are one of the tens of millions of individuals worldwide using crypto as a tool to escape monetary repression, inflation, or capital controls, you will most likely really enjoy this video. So today's special revolves around how Bitcoin and crypto in general can throw off that bad for the environment shroud that the market seems to be carrying with it ever since day one. There have been more and more articles in recent months that speak very negatively to crypto's energy consumption. Right here, this was one from May. Elon Musk is right. Bitcoin mining is bad for the planet. Here's how bad. Or from the BBC, Bitcoin consumes more electricity than Argentina. This is from February. So what we're going to talk about today is setting the record straight. The haters like to throw on large numbers like Bitcoin has a carbon footprint comparable to that of New Zealand, producing 37 megatons of carbon dioxide annually, or the annual energy consumption is close to that of the Netherlands with a large figure of 110.53 terawatts. But either they don't compare these numbers to a similar market sector, or they compare them to ridiculous items, such as Visa transactions. So let's look at how these numbers actually compare to more comparable types of sectors, such as mining and financial institutions. So the World Gold Mining Council estimated it takes 32.7 tons of carbon dioxide per year per 1 ton of gold mined. Gold mining, recycling, and jewelry combined to use almost 144 million tons of carbon dioxide, as well as about 265 terawatt hours, which again, both blow Bitcoin's energy use and tons of CO2 out of the water. Now, you also have paper currency and minting, plus bank branches and ATMs. Those two combined are astronomically higher than anything Bitcoin has to offer. And most of that, you have to remember, you have everything from procurement, building construction, waste, energy, and even motor vehicles, public transportation, and air travel that all have to be factored into the bank branches and the paper currency and minting, because you have to still fly all the paper currency everywhere. You have to shred it when it's done, and bank branches have to have office space for their employees and extra energy usage for their employees to have refrigerators. I mean, you name it. That's why their energy usage and tons of CO2 produced are so much higher. Bitcoin has almost none of those. The only buildings that you have to have are for Bitcoin mining, and really that's paltry compared to the amount of bank branches, ATMs, and minting and currency housing you have to have. Now, as we dive further into the topic, we should be clear on how Bitcoin actually consumes energy. Understanding Bitcoin's energy consumption may not settle questions about its usefulness, however, we will get to that later in the video, but it can help contextualize how much of an environmental impact Bitcoin advocates are really talking about making. Specifically, there are a few key things worth addressing. The first is there is an important distinction between how much energy a system consumes and how much carbon it emits. While determining energy consumption is relatively straightforward, you cannot extrapolate the associated carbon emissions without knowing what the energy mix is. Basically, what we're saying is, are we using renewable energies or non-renewable energies? Because a mining unit using hydro energy will have a way lower environmental impact than the same unit using coal-powered energy. Another key factor that makes Bitcoin energy consumption different than other industries is that Bitcoin can be mined anywhere, meaning that it doesn't have to be close to the end users, unlike most other industries, which enables miners to utilize power sources that are inaccessible for most other applications. Now, what this means is that it can be really close to any of these sources of energy or far away. Now, this is especially important in rural areas or where power is being wasted because it has to be transported long distances. The U.S. Energy Information Administration, or EIA, said that electrical losses due to energy transmission can exceed 5 6%. And in other countries such as China, that can actually get up to about 12%. So you're looking at between 5 and 12% of energy loss depending on the region. Now, in these rural areas, Bitcoin mines will be able to use this wasted power that the mining units desperately crave, save energy from being wasted, and be net zero for carbon emissions all at the same time. So why does Bitcoin need all of this power? It's because Bitcoin's decentralized structure causes a higher energy need and drives its larger carbon footprint. That's because to verify transactions, Bitcoin requires computers to solve ever more complex math problems. And this is the basic concept that the cryptocurrency world refers to as a proof of work system, and it's drastically more energy intensive than verifying transactions on a centralized network. The first and biggest solution is to switch over fully to renewable energy. Currently, it's estimated that between 39 and 74%, depending on which reports you read, of the Bitcoin mining world is already performed using renewable energy. Countless startups have emerged to address this gap, each targeting new ways to bring more environmentally friendly energy to Bitcoin and other crypto mining. One of the more sustainable, powerful, and energy efficient ways of producing a large amount of power to keep those hungry Bitcoin mines fed is to go nuclear. With current data, at about 110 terawatt hours, the world, not just a country, but the world, would only need to build 22 nuclear power plants to meet current demands. And if each developed country installed just one plant, there would be enough to power all Bitcoin with 15 reactors to spare. Ukraine is one of the first countries that's hopping on board with the nuclear and crypto mining combo. The Ukrainian government is planning to build huge mining data centers next to its nuclear power plants. The Minister of Energy is building these nuclear and crypto mining combo plants to help use idle load and reduce the burden on transmission systems. The government is expecting the total energy consumption across the mining facilities could reach about 2 to 3 gigawatts. And even the US is hopping into this nuclear powered crypto craze, and it's gaining traction. Miami's mayor, Francis Suarez, says Miami's doors are open to Bitcoin miners, and he's emphasized that the city's reliance on nuclear power as a source of clean and inexpensive energy will help bring miners in. Other renewable energy ideas range from ones that you hear every day to the ingenious. So the very first one we get to is cow dung. United Kingdom farmers are turning to a surprising reservoir of power, cow manure, aka dung, to power Ethereum mining and increase revenue. Due to solar panel incentives dwindling and farming getting much harder and more expensive in the UK, farmers are looking for a way to diversify in order to earn a good living. Currently, farmers can sell their manure to the national grid for roughly 1 cent per kilowatt. However, if the farmers switch to a crypto rig, they can make up to $56 per day, which leads to over $21,000 per year with a single crypto rig. Now, in accordance to this trend, Easy Crypto Hunter, which is a UK startup that specialized in mining hardware, has seen a significant spike in demand from farmers trying to diversify and enhance their profits. The startup operates its own gear and mines carbon neutral cryptocurrency using dung, but more specifically the methane to electricity process. And according to Reddit, they and their clients mine cryptocurrencies such as Ethereum to get the biggest profits they can. Another company is mining Bitcoin using flare gas from oil drilling. Crusoe Energy captures the energy from flare gas at oil patches and uses it to mine Bitcoin. Crusoe isn't the only company in the business, with others including Easy Blockchain doing similar things, yet it is one of the biggest. It's even drawing interest from Coinbase and Winklevy. Crusoe Energy captures the flare gas from oil patches and uses the energy to mine for Bitcoin. Right now it says its systems slash the CO2 equivalent emissions from gas flaring up by 63%, and that each one has the equivalent effect of taking 1,700 cars off of the road. So basically how it works is that when oil companies drill for the good old black stuff, they often hit natural gas too. Yet most drillers lack the infrastructure to sell the gas, and so they just burn it off in a process called flaring, which creates distinctive flames above the oil sites, as you can see in this picture here. This is where Crusoe comes in. It installs a piping system to divert the natural gas away from the flares and into generators. They produce electricity which is then used to power computers directly at the oil site. The computers then mine Bitcoin, and Crusoe pays the oil company for the gas that is used while pocketing the profits. This allows the oil company to receive incremental revenue from the gas where they were previously flaring the gas for nothing. Geothermal is another potential source of cheap renewable energy. El Salvador is already planning to create geothermal energy from volcanoes, which is Honestly, such a James Bond tech kind of idea. And other geothermal firms are on the way. Geothermal can actually provide year-round baseload power without having to rely on the grid or costly energy storage. This is, again, huge because this competitive advantage is evidenced in Iceland, where geothermal energy supplies many of the world's largest mining facilities. And since cryptocurrency mining is not restricted to geographic location, it's also not affected by geothermal's greatest limitation: its distance from traditional consumers. Off-grid plants would allow developers to commercialize tens of gigawatts of untapped geothermal potential. Another relatively unknown source of renewable energy is tidal power. Right now, UK's most deprived village is actually building tidal energy crypto miners to reconnect with technology and make a profit while they're at it. Jackwick, which is a sleepy seaside village roughly 2 hours drive from London, has a huge problem with unemployment, so they are turning to crypto mining to actually help with this. The town makes their own tidal-powered, right here, their little tidal-powered energy producers and miners at the same time. The tidal-powered cryptocurrency miners are using Raspberry Pi Model 3s. These are pocket-sized single-board computers built to promote the teaching of basic computer science to the general population and, again, as well to make some profits. And the best part about these models is that they are only $10. Right now, the town mostly mines for alternative cryptocurrencies because while they can mine for Bitcoin, the miners were more efficient when mining for alternative currencies because it's such a small unit. Now, at present, these cryptocurrency miners generate about 5 cents worth of cryptocurrency every hour. So honestly, that's pretty darn okay. These are quite small, but there are a couple of larger tidal mining units in development. An example is the tidal-powered miner being developed by FF Los Angeles in partnership with marine research organization Terra Expeditions Foundation. The hydraulic turbine, nicknamed the Ocean Miner, has been installed in the Gulf of Morbihan in Brittany, France, and has collected nearly 0.0015 Bitcoin per day, equating to about 200 euros a month over the entire implementation phase. And for more traditional renewable energy sources such as wind, hydroelectric dams, and solar panels, we come to the first part of Texas is using its nation-leading 28 gigawatts of wind power to help mining companies meet their energy needs and is leading to a digital gold rush. Square, it will invest $5 million to build a large solar-powered Bitcoin mining facility with Blockstream mining, and in Norway and Sweden, Bitcoin miners have been continually getting a boost of cheap power from hydroelectric plants due to the extremely wet weather over the past couple of years. The incredible thing with renewables is that it already seems like the green space is producing the majority of power from mining. In April, ARK Investments conducted a study and concluded that an estimated 76% of crypto mining is already using renewable energy, and that trends looks to be continually increasing. Hopefully we get to see close to 100% renewables within the next decade. Now, how long do you think will it take for crypto mining to get to 100%? Let us know in the comments section below. Also, which of these renewable energy producing ideas did you enjoy the most, and which ones do you think are trash? Let us know in the comments section. Now, for other non-energy producing ways of fixing Bitcoin, there are a couple of really tough ways of doing it. The first potential solution is to transition to proof of stake systems. So what these are is that they don't require the same mad dash to evolve complex puzzles because proof of stake systems remove the competitive computational element of proof of work that Bitcoin has. It saves energy and allows each machine in a POS to work on one problem at a time as opposed to a POW system in which an array of machines are rushing to solve the same problem, thus wasting energy. An example of this is like Ethereum and most NFTs. Another is to embrace pre-mining. So pre-mining is where the system that functionally works much like a fiat currency or stocks. A central authority like the US government in case of the dollars or a company in case of the stocks creates a set amount of an item and then carefully releases it to the economy depending on what is going on in the world or their business. But it's going to be a little tough to transition Bitcoin to this. So transitioning Bitcoin to either a proof of stake or pre-mine system means fundamentally altering the Bitcoin protocol. So someone would basically have to convince the majority of miners to agree to this new system, which would be a extremely tough task when billions are at stake and the existing system works, albeit slowly and inefficiently. The last time a change of this magnitude happened, it was not accepted universally by miners, resulting in a so-called hard fork that created a separate cryptocurrency called Bitcoin Cash, which itself later hard forked into Bitcoin SV, among others. The third way to reduce Bitcoin emission impacts is to induce carbon credits or fees. Carbon credits represent the government-sanctioned ability for a company to emit a certain amount of carbon emissions to the environment. This incentivizes a company to produce less than its allotment, as well as penalizes those that go over. In the case of a crypto mining company, this means it purchases carbon credits from another company to help offset the amount of emissions it creates, or switches to greener energy so it can earn a profit from selling its credits. Now, out of these three non-energy producing ideas, which do you think is the best and easiest route for Bitcoin to follow, and which one is one that you just think is awful? Let us know in the comments section below. So in conclusion, it truly looks like there are some options to increase the renewable energy and lessen the environmental impacts of Bitcoin mining, or lessen the energy impacts altogether. Crypto founders and miners are cognizant and working towards becoming carbon neutral. So which of the green ideas do you think is the most likable to actually work for Bitcoin? Shoot us a comment. Also, if we missed a really interesting way of reducing carbon and energy impacts, please let us know. We hope you enjoyed the content. If so, please support our channel by liking this video and hit that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. This is the Ministry of Mainnet signing off.